I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Okay, I want to talk, I've done a few blogs lately on the state of the luxury pre-sale market, that units are just coming online now and how it's a tough sale. Most of these sellers that bought these units 5, 6, 7 years ago, they're trying to break even on them, but they're not. Any of the ones that do get sold, they're taking some pretty substantial losses, or they're taking the units off the market and trying to rent them. So I want to talk about that. Give you a couple of quick stories here, and then I want to talk to you about older luxury condo, let's say in Cole Harbour, that are right on the seawall, that are maybe 18, 20, 22 years old, versus the brand new luxury stuff that's being built in areas like Yaletown, Downtown West End, and some other areas in downtown here, and the difference between the two and where I see value and what I would buy. So the first thing, I'm noticing a lot of condos, I'm going to use that butterfly again as an example. I'm seeing a lot of units, they're not much is selling in there, prices are coming down, that they're trying to sell the unit on the MLS, but they've also got them listed on Craigslist for rent. And boy, I tell you, if you're looking for a good deal on a luxury rental, I mean, there's some good deals out there right now. There's also some in Cole Harbour as well. So, give you an example. There's a one-bedroom unit about 585 square feet with parking that they're trying to rent for $3,000 a month. And you could probably offer something a little under that. Now, that unit, those people paid $1.1 million for that unit. $1.1 million, and they're trying to get $3,000 a month rent. Horrible. And see what's happening here is they're trying to sell it for $1.1 million, which they're not going to get. So they've got to sharpen their price there, and they're going to take a loss after the commissions and GST and everything else, because there is going to be another set of GST for those people. The seller, right now, with the new contracts of purchase and sale, that seller is responsible for that second set of GST. Or they're trying to rent it, I guess, see whichever one comes first. But selling it, of course, is going to result in an immediate, $150,000 loss. That's no fun. Or rent it for $3,000 a month, which is not even going to come near covering your holding costs, which is kind of like a death by 1,000 paper cuts, in my opinion. Because again, once you put that tenant in there, as you guys know, you've got to sign a 1-year fixed-term lease, and then you can't get that tenant out. You could list it if you want to sell it a year from now with the tenant still in it, but good luck with that. Luxury unit, it's not going to show well, guaranteed. And these tenants now, you got to be careful with this cash for keys. It's a dangerous situation there where the tenant knows full well, hey, you wanted to rent it for a year, and I get it, because by renting it for a year, they can avoid that second set of GST because somebody's lived in it for a year. But now, the tenant's onto you that, hey, now you want to get out from under this and sell it. Well, what are you going to give me? Forget the 1 month's rent. I want 6 months rent compensation, and then I'll sign a mutual agreement. So I've done lots of blogs on this. It's just not a good situation, selling it and trying to rent it. But some of the rents in there, there are some really good deal. There's one in there. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath in another newer luxury building in the West End here, near Cole Harbour, that they paid about $2.5 million for that unit, and they're trying to get $4,500 a month rent, and it's been trying to rent it for a long time. So again, it's kind of a death by 1,000 paper cuts. Once you put that tenant in there, that's wear and tear on that luxury unit. You don't know when that tenant's going to leave, and if you do want to sell it, you're going to have to buy that tenant out, and that could get very expensive. So the other thing I want to talk about here, I've got a client, I'm always working with clients coming in from other parts of the country. I've got some clients that are coming in from Toronto. They're planning on moving here at the end of the summer. So they've made a few trips out here. We've been looking at some condo units downtown. They've got a budget of about $2.5 to $3 million. So I've been showing them some older stuff and some newer stuff. And, in my opinion, I've talked about this before. There's pros and cons to both. So again, some of these luxury condos right now in downtown, in various areas downtown, these are expensive. We're talking 1,150 square feet. There's one in the Butterfly right now, 1,175 square feet with one parking, listed for $2.888. So $2.9 million, plus that seller's or the buyer is going to have to pay GST. We'll have to see how the contract goes down. So under 1,200 square feet with one parking for $2.9 million. Pretty expensive. Now, by comparison, I've been showing them some really good strata in Cole Harbour, right on the seawall. I've sold in all of these stratas before. Well-run strata. So these are 18, 20, 21 years old, but absolute prime location, best of the best, unlike, say, the Butterfly, which is at Nelson and Burrard Street. Not the greatest location, busy street, hot corner. But, for 1.8, 1.9, 2 million, you can buy a larger unit, 1,400 square feet with 2 parking, maybe 3 parking, with, North Shore views, water views, right on the seawall. The downside, of course, is it's a 20-year-old unit. So it's going to need a renovation. So you're looking at 300, 400, 500,000 or more. Sky's the limit to renovate these units. So the cons with something like that, of course, are you've got to buy the unit and then have a spare 500,000 to do the reno. Not a lot of people have that. They can't pad it into the mortgage. You've also got to have about a year out of your life there doing that renovation, getting all the permits in place, getting strata permission, hiring a renovation contractor. These guys aren't a dime a dozen. I've got a few good ones. They've all got anywhere from 6 to 12 month waiting periods before they can take you on. The good ones do. So you've got a lot of time involved there. So that's the thing. But the pros are you're getting far superior location, right on the seawall. Sure, it'll be an older unit, but now you can customize it. And in my opinion, if you were to buy one of those in Cole Harbour, put 500, 600,000 into it, you will have better finishings than these new luxury units. It won't even be close, because these older buildings have, in my opinion, a way better layout, floor plan, better outlooks for sure, better neighborhood for sure, right on the seawall, not on busy streets. Bigger, instead of 1,175 square feet, you can get 1,400 or 1,500 square feet. It amazes me you're dropping $3 million for some of these luxury condos and you get 1 parking space. These people are going to have 2 or 3 cars, all of them. So with a lot of these ones in Cole Harbour, 2, 3 parking spaces, oversized. In my opinion, that's where you want to go after, and that's what we are going to be going after here. We've kind of now looked at some newer luxury buildings. The one advantage there, of course, with luxury building is you move right on into it. You don't have to do anything. But again, smaller, a lot more expensive price per square foot. The other thing I would say too, I've talked about this before, some of these new modern buildings are extremely high tech. In some cases, maybe a little bit too high tech. Lots of things that can break down, geothermal, all these elaborate heating and cooling systems. That's something that I'm noticing more and more. You want some of those things for sure. All these ones I'm looking at, these older ones in Cole Harbour, all have AC. But nicer floor plans. But that's the advantage with new. You move into it, you don't have to do anything. But I would say renovating one of these, luxury older ones, better floor plan, and I think if you hire the right renovator, you can get a far superior finish than what? My current home I'm living in, I renovated 5 years ago. It was a 7-month reno. My place, I'd stack up to any of these new builds. Sure, they're nice, but they don't have the quality of the materials that you can do with a good quality renovation right now. So we're leaning more towards that. It's a little bit more work. Again, 6, 7, 8 months to reno it. You've got to have a spare $500,000, $600,000 cash on top of your purchase price. But in my opinion, when it's all said and done, you are going to have a far superior home. Better location, better strata, right on the seawall, quieter, larger space, more parking spaces, way better floor plans, way better outlook. And if you do a good reno, you'll have better finishings than most of these newly completed luxury buildings. You will. So something to keep in mind. It's not for everyone. It's a lot more work going that route, but in my opinion, far better value than what I'm seeing out there in the new luxury builds. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, I'll see you next week.